LYKA was one of the most ambitious attempts at integrating social engagement with digital commerce.
Would you like to know where you can spend your LYKA Gems?
LYKA Gems, LYKA Gems.
Pinawiwilihan ngayon ng mga Pinoy na ang LYKA.
But LYKA had one critical flaw.
These activities make LYKA an OPS.
Just because a platform is popular or endorsed by celebrities does not mean it is legally or financially secure.
So nagsend tayo ng 3,731,000. So babayaran natin siya using LYKA Gems.
The gems functioned as a form of digital cash, creating an ecosystem where social activity directly translated into spending power. Instead of relying on traditional advertising, LYKA aggressively pushed its brand through high-profile endorsements. Trust is the foundation of any financial system, but when trust is built on perception rather than legal and financial protection, it can collapse just as quickly as it rises. Consumers who had spent months accumulating gems were left with digital assets that they could no longer use. But here's the question: where did all the money go?
Louie Sangalang is the living embodiment of resilience. A former national Philippine MMA champion with an unblemished 5-0 record, Louie's victories extend far beyond the cage. He was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive cancer that statistically takes the lives of 1 in 2 patients. Louie not only survived but thrived, earning him the title of undefeated in life. His indomitable spirit saw him recently become the only Filipino cancer survivor to run and finish a full marathon in the North Pole. He then finished second on the remarkably successful Netflix spin-off show of President Donald Trump, The Apprentice Asia, which allowed him to transition to the corporate world, where he played a pivotal role in the growth of several multi-billion peso companies.
Hello mga kapinat! Before we begin, we noticed that 98% of you, our viewers, are not yet subscribed to our channel. We're trying to bring that number down to 75%. So to help us, please like, share, and hit that notification bell. So we look forward to hearing from you. And again, mabuhay po kayo, mga kapinat. Love you all. LYKA, a social media economy built on trust, derailed by regulation.
May bagong social media app na kinawiwilihan ngayon ng mga Pinoy. Yan ang LYKA.
I've been mentioning how I purchased this item because of LYKA Gems. Nakakain ako dito because of LYKA Gems. Cashless transactions, LYKA Gems, LYKA Gems, LYKA Gems.
Trust is the foundation of any financial system. It fuels consumer confidence, supports business transactions, and enables financial innovation. But when trust is built on perception rather than legal and financial protection, it can collapse just as quickly as it rises.
Pinasususpindi ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas ang operasyon ng social media platform na LYKA.
LYKA was one of the most ambitious attempts at integrating social engagement with digital commerce. Launched in 2019 by the Things I Like Company Limited in Hong Kong City, LYKA was not just another social media app. It positioned itself as a self-sustaining digital economy. In a world where social media platforms are constantly seeking new ways to monetize engagement, LYKA offered a compelling alternative. Unlike platforms that relied on advertising revenue, LYKA rewarded users directly. The more people engaged, liking, sharing, and posting, the more gems they earned. The gems functioned as a form of digital cash, creating an ecosystem where social activity directly translated into spending power. The platform's growth was almost inevitable in a country like the Philippines. With an average of 9 hours of daily internet usage per person, Filipinos are among the most active social media users in the world. The idea that users could earn money simply by engaging online resonated with a digitally savvy audience, eager to participate in a new kind of fast economy. By 2020, LYKA had established partnerships with major brands like Adidas, Ford, and Mini, allowing users to purchase goods and services with LYKA Gems.
Papagas tayo ngayon gamit ang ating LYKA Gems. Thank you, LYKA!
LYKA rewards users with LYKA Gems. These gems can be used to pay for items bought from LYKA's numerous partner merchants.
The concept was simple yet very powerful. Instead of traditional cash or card payments, businesses accepted gems, reinforcing the idea that LYKA was more than just a social network. It was an alternative financial ecosystem. However, what made LYKA grow so quickly was not just its innovative model, but the power of celebrity influence. Instead of relying on traditional advertising, LYKA aggressively pushed its brand through high-profile endorsements. Local celebrities like Ivan Alawi, Pia Wurtzbach, Gabby Garcia, and Carlo Aquino actively promoted the platform, showcasing their gem-powered purchases. In fact, Ivan Alawi in particular made headlines after using LYKA Gems to purchase a 3.7 million Ford Expedition, further cementing the perception that gems had real-world value.
Okay guys, so babayaran natin siya using LYKA Gems. So nag-send tayo ng 3,731,000. So na-instant talaga siya, natanggap na nila.
The more people saw celebrities using gems for luxury purchases, the more LYKA appeared legitimate and trustworthy. What many users failed to realize, however, was that while LYKA looked and functioned like a financial system, it really was not legitimately, legally recognized as one. Despite its rapid expansion, LYKA had one critical flaw. It was operating as a financial service without the necessary regulatory approvals.
It has come to our knowledge that LYKA allows its users to purchase, exchange, and use gems as payment for goods and services. These activities make LYKA an OPS and is thus required to register with a BSP.
While it positioned itself as a social media platform, its business model mirrored that of a digital payment system, one that should have been subject to financial oversight. In July 2021, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas stepped in, issuing a cease-and-desist order against LYKA. The central bank determined that LYKA Gems transactions classified it as an operator of payment system, or an OPS, under the National Payment Systems Act, or Republic Act 11127. This meant that LYKA was legally required to register as a financial services provider and comply with banking regulations designed to protect consumers and businesses. An OPS license is crucial for any platform that facilitates large-scale financial transactions. It ensures that digital payments are secure, regulated, and backed by financial safeguards. Without this accreditation, users have no legal protection in the event of fraud, technical failures, or liquidity issues. LYKA, despite processing millions of transactions, had never secured an OPS license. This gap left consumers exposed to financial risks, with no legal guarantees that their gems had any real monetary value. The impact of the BSP's intervention was immediate. Merchants who had been accepting gems stopped transactions overnight, fearing regulatory consequences. Consumers who had spent months accumulating gems were left with digital assets that they could no longer use. The illusion of stability collapsed, and the ecosystem that once appeared unstoppable came to a grinding halt. In an attempt to recover, LYKA applied for OPS registration and announced plans to establish a Philippine-based subsidiary to meet regulatory requirements. However, the Anti-Red Tape Authority, or the ARTA, denied its application, citing missing documentation and unresolved legal concerns. Without a clear path to compliance, LYKA could not legally resume operations. By 2022, LYKA had all but disappeared from public consciousness. Merchants severed ties with the platform, users abandoned the app, and regulators reinforced their stance that no digital payment system can operate outside financial law. Despite efforts to relaunch, LYKA remained entangled in legal and financial uncertainty. CEO Ryan Baird later expressed interest in expanding into Malaysia and Indonesia, but without regulatory approval, these plans remained speculative at best. The collapse of LYKA was not just about a failed business model. It was a warning to the financial technology or fintech sector. It highlighted the dangers of operating a financial system without compliance, proving that trust built on marketing can never replace trust built on regulation. LYKA's downfall is a defining moment for businesses, consumers, and regulators, offering lessons that will shape the future of digital finance. For businesses, one thing is certain: regulatory compliance isn't just optional, it's essential for survival. Any company facilitating financial transactions at scale must align with legal and banking frameworks before scaling operations. For consumers, LYKA serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of financial awareness. Just because a platform is popular or endorsed by celebrities does not mean it is legally or financially secure. For regulators, LYKA is a wake-up call for stronger oversight. With fintech evolving rapidly, regulators must act fast to ensure that digital financial systems are secure, transparent, and accountable before mass adoption. Tighter enforcement and clearer compliance pathways are critical to protect consumers and prevent future disruptions. As technology reshapes global economies, businesses will keep pushing the limits of innovation. But as LYKA's story demonstrates, disruption without regulatory compliance is not progress. It's a disaster waiting to unfold. But here's the question. Were any of LYKA's local owners, executives, or business partners ever held accountable? Did anyone take responsibility for the collapse? Or did they just simply move on, while users were left with nothing? In the end, trust in finance isn't built on marketing hype. It stands on regulation, consumer protection, and financial integrity, the foundation that keeps fintech innovation stable, responsible, and built to last. This is Louie Sangalang for PGMN.